Hey, Board Gamers, BJ from Board Game. Almost forgot the mic, Steve. Hey, Board Gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here. Back with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode number 110. Gumbo Live, the number one Facebook Live talk show dedicated to board gaming. We got a special guest tonight. She's back. It's Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe and Galactic Raptor Games. I think we're going to be talking about the second one tonight. Board Game Gumbo, a proud member of Punchboard Media. Hey, check out some of our other fine members like Patrick and Eric in the morning. If you like those crazy morning zoo shows, Patrick and Eric will wake you up with game news, opinions, and friendly banter. And you can find them on the What Did You Play This Week podcast feed. That is Patrick and Eric in the morning, Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Hit us up on social media tonight, on Twitter or on Facebook at facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo. And we'll be looking for your questions in the chat crew. But enough blather. Let's get right to our special guest. There's Carla Kopp. Welcome back to the show.
I'm so excited to be here.
It is awesome to have you here. How has your summer been going?
I would say probably like the worst summer of my adult life.
Is 2020 over yet?
It's only halfway, and like we've already had Australia burn, murder hornets, a pandemic, everything in between.
It's like we started out with a bad year, and then 2020 said, "Hold my beer. We're gonna really make it bad." Hey,
okay. You want to know what happened to me today?
I'm ready.
My cell phone started on fire.
What? How did that happen?
I don't know. I was having a bad day, so we went for a drive. You know how like you drive nowhere or whatever, but like smoke from my my phone because like I don't know, my charger or something, and it was like we were freaking out in the car.
Now I know you're an engineer. Did you like tweak it and supercharge it, and so it's like, what do they call it? Overclocking it? Were you overclocking your phone?
I was not, but like we have an electric car, so I was like, oh no, we did something terribly wrong. But yeah, that's how 2020 is going. My phone literally spontaneously burst into flames.
It's par for the course. Hey, our friend Steve, the name father, is also here. Let's bring Steve in. Steve, what's going on, man?
Hey, BJ. Hey, Carla. How y'all doing?
Steve, how's your summer been going? Have you burnt any cell phones lately?
No, I thought Carla was only responsible for fire in the library, not fire in the car.
Look at that. That's why he's a pro, Carla. Hey, yeah. Speaking of that, I am curious. How is Fire in the Library, the card game, coming along? You still doing that development work?
Yeah, it's right here.
Ooh, wow.
Fancy.
Wow, wait, that's like the actual game.
Yeah, it's an actual game.
So production copy already?
Well, like a reviewer type copy.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's all pretty and stuff.
Look at that. Super nice.
So yeah, it was going to go on to Kickstarter this summer, and then I was like, whoa, Carla, you could just not have a panic attack or stress attack. Instead, it could go on to Kickstarter, 2021, and that's fine.
Well, we got a bunch of people checking in. There's Kelly Jean. Steve, you know yep. Kelly.
Oh, we know Kelly.
She regularly tries to beat us in lots of different games.
Succeeds.
And succeeds often. Thomas is checking in. Hello, Thomas. What's up? Verla, who's probably not going to be on the show this week, but might get her on next week. So
hopefully she'll keep the chat moving.
Yes. She's going to be doing the Steve job tonight.
She rented the show out to you this week. So she took possession of it last week.
There's our diver friend, Patrick Newman. Patrick's been playing so many games lately. I'm jealous, man. Patrick and Cindy have been killing it lately. Fellow designer, Carla Kopp, Christian Strain checking in. Hey, Christian, still waiting for news about the expansions for asking for trouble. We're waiting for that. So, and another designer, Jay Bell. I got to meet Jay Bell. Jay was in town.
Hey, Jay.
Carla, we had our masks on, and we sat 6 feet apart on a big, giant conference table. Like I was telling Steve, was like, what does he look like? I said, well, he looks like his picture because I've never actually seen him in person. He had a big mask on. All I can see is his eyes, So, but yeah, it was fun hanging out with fun night with Jay. And there's Dave Dugat checking in. Yep, that's right. It's Gumbo time. The Gumbo Overlord taking a week off. So, Carla, I can't think of anybody who doesn't know you because you're very prolific on social media. But just in case the chat crew hasn't seen Carla Kopp, one of our favorite guests, give us the elevator pitch. Who is Carla Kopp and what is Galactic Raptor Games?
So I'm Carla. I am a designer, developer, and publisher. I run both Weird Giraffe Games and Galactic Raptor Games. Weird Giraffe Games is all mine. I do whatever I feel like in it, and it's kind of weird, but that's okay.
But you answer to the cat, don't forget.
Oh yeah, so it's me and my cat Fluffins. So yeah, we make the decisions. But Galactic Raptor Games, we also have in there Dan Letzring, who runs Letterman Games. So me and him teamed up, made a company, and that's Galactic Raptor.
Dan's been on the show. Yeah, Dan's been on Gumbo Live. We had a great time talking with them. So really nice guy, and I enjoy his other podcast. So.
Yeah, he does Breaking into Board Games.
Breaking into Board Games. I almost said Board Games Insider. Breaking into Board Games. He does a fantastic job with Ian and Tony and them. So that is a good one.
I do have a show now. It's called Game Design Live Chat.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you had just started it when you came on last time. Now you're talking about the video series, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a podcast yet.
We're saving all the audio, and it'll be a podcast when I stop being lazy.
It only took me about 100 shows, but I finally started doing it in audio format. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll be glad to help you out with that. So yeah, that's cool. So that's Galactic Raptor, and we're going to be talking about the game that's out on Kickstarter that you did that's going like gangbusters already. So we'll be talking about that soon. But you played some spicy hot games recently. BJ from Board Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe and Galactic Raptor Games. And you played a game that I played. Steve, I don't think you played this one before. Nope. Have you? No?
Nope. Metro.
And we're talking about Metro X.
Yep, I have not.
A game, Carla, that I love. Can you guess why? What's the number one thing I love about this game?
It's about subways.
Those awesome pencils. Look at those things.
What?
Oh, I love those little pencils.
I think
yes,
I have this version. It doesn't have any pencils.
Okay, so I'm going to solo this shot for you so you can see. Okay. Steve, you got to see these cool pencils. Look at them. They have a little tiny lead, and then look at the end. It clips to your shirt. It's a little plastic pencil that clips to your shirt. It is the coolest thing I've ever seen. My buddy Sagan, he knows. He's the one who taught me this game. He knows that if he pulls this game out, I want to play with the pencils. So tell me about your pencils. They don't.
It doesn't have pencils. I'm like trying to open the box. So I have the Game Right version, which has these boards and a marker.
What? Oh no, ours are little paper sheets. Oh, you got the fancy version.
I don't know about fancy because this was like $15 on Amazon. So.
All right, so tell the chat crew, what is Metro X all about?
So it is a flip and fill game where you are doing, I think it's subways. It's some sort of a metro.
Subways in Tokyo, if I remember right.
So each turn you flip over a card and it will have a number and you'll get to like cross off that many things in the line. However, you have to go like in order and they like crisscross and stuff. So you have to really plan your route because like if you go into a different route, you'll cut yourself off. So yeah, so you have to actually have some brain power here, or you can just wait for the there's skip cards where you can put like an X and then skip over and then exit again. There's the different points, like if you finish first, you get more points. If you finish like anything that's not first, you get the second amount of points, and then you get a penalty if you don't fill in any of these. So you have to be really efficient.
Yeah, efficiency is number one in that game, and Steve, I'm going to tell you, for such a little box game with that little tiny sheet and just those flip and fill cards, it is the thinkiest roll and write I think I've ever played. Maybe Fleet the Dice. Maybe Fleet the Dice is a little bit thinkier, but it's a bigger game. Fleet the Dice feels like a board game, right? Mm-hmm. Metro X doesn't. It feels like a roll and write, flip and write, rando write, whatever you want to call it. But don't you agree, Carla? It's one of the brain burniest games, especially you get into the middle part of the game and you start crossing the paths and oh man.
Yeah, and you have to do like all the probabilities, like, oh, how many skips have you gone already? Have you gotten the free space yet? And like there's a whole like the reshuffle card. I really like the reshuffle card because like you could get it last or you could get it like 3 in and,
right away.
Maybe get the free thing again. So
yeah, everybody's dying to get that. This is how you do not play the game. There's a A lot of negative
No,
points
you
there.
got the 10 points though. That's the big 10.
A lot of negative points though, and then not a lot of look at all the second places there. There's a lot of second places, not a lot of first places. So yeah, I may have been focusing on that 10 way too much. I really was trying to get that. If you see that little center star there, and trying to get that bonus, and I did that, and to the chagrin of everything else. So I wasn't that. What do you think, Steve? Metro
It looks
X?
cool. It looks very cool. That would be right down my street.
The version that Sagan has comes in a little tiny box with those. Oh, can I show them one more time?
With the pencils.
Look at the pencils. Look at these, Carla. It's like a masterful design.
It is.
Oh,
I mean,
that's awesome.
I wish I had that because, like, I have this big box with markers, which is, I mean, it's better for, like, people that write big or have big hands, I guess. I don't know.
Yep, that is Metro X. I can't remember who publishes it, but I did find out that there are some expansions for it. I don't know if you've played any of the. There are other Subway.
That's cool.
Yeah, the other Subway sheets. So I have not. Played
Yeah, this one has a back. Where it has Tube Town.
Okay, so yeah, you've got. Look, so the version she has is awesome. Except
Game
for the
Right
pencils.
has it.
Except for the pencils, you don't have the
Yeah.
pencils. But other than that, I love the fact that you got all the. You can rewrite everything, and you have 2 sheets, and we only have 1. So.
I really envy your ability to be thrilled by writing implements, PJ. That is a gift.
I am not overselling it. If you see these pencils, you're going to be like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in a board game." It's so. Look at the way they look. They don't even feel comfortable in your hand. They're terrible.
And you're telling me they clip too?
They
Whoa!
clip,
And they write. They
And
write
they
as well.
No erasers though. But you don't need an eraser because everything you do is perfect in
Right.
Metro X.
Oh.
Just more
That's
excuses to write things.
Marshall's checking in. He's catching bugs in Animal Crossing. I've never played Animal Crossing. Either one of you?
No,
I mean, if you start playing, you can't stop.
I
is
feel
what
like that.
hear.
we wouldn't be here.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
I played the original version on the Super Nintendo, whatever it was, many years ago, and I feel like if I started this thing, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
BJ from More Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe and Galactic Raptor Games, and I want to show you a game I forgot that you've done the solo version for, with a smile and a gun, from my friend Jon Valorant. It's going to be out on Kickstarter pretty soon. What's your involvement with the smile and a gun?
So I designed the solo mode. John contacted me. He asked me to do it, and I did it. I was really excited about it because I've started to do solo modes for not my companies. But yeah, that one was one where it came together pretty fast. So for the people that don't know, with a smile and a gun, it was originally a 2-player game where you are trying to like earn the most points, and it's in like this prohibition different future, alternate.
It's Al Capone, but as if Al Capone didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Different.
It's a cool theme.
But yeah, I really like in it where
Lots
you
of
are
dice.
choosing your dice. Yeah, like depending on what the dice do, because like you choose dice for movement, but you also choose it for your action. But you have to make sure to choose the correct number. So like it's an area control game, and you want to get the areas that you want, and you can kind of prevent your opponent from going to the same spots as you if you take the right dice away from them. So
you got to be careful though when you're going for those areas. Now, Steve, the picture that I have, that's your character and the other character, and you're going to go around those 9 spaces on the board. Okay. Each one of those 9 spaces represents a city area, and those little tokens represent the points that you can get, all the different things, hats or contraband or whatever it is. The police are also out there, and they're trying to take away the contraband. So you're trying to get there before the police raid it. But the trick is when you're trying to get your majority in the area, if you want, just keep picking all the big dice, move around the board, and take the biggest actions. Take that 5, take that 6, and now you got tons of actions. But the more actions you take and the more noise you make, what do you think happens, Steve?
You're drawing attention to yourself.
You're drawing attention to yourself. It's brilliant. John's saying, hey, you can take all the big actions you want, but you're going to draw lots of attention from the cops. And if you have more heat or you have more activity than the other person, I've only played it with 2. So I don't know if it plays more people. I think it's just 2, right? Yeah. So if you draw more attention to yourself than the other player, if I do more than Steve, then that means Steve's going to get a bonus because he was able to, kind of slide some things past the police. I tell you, very brilliant design, Carla. What's the solo like? What are you doing for the solo?
So you're going against an automated player. So you're trying to take the dice away from them because they're going after the same things that the police are. They're trying to get the majorities on the same different. There's like drugs and guns and the third thing that I always forget. But yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's something.
Clip-on pens.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it should be.
Yeah, it's that.
I don't think it's clip-on pens.
So yeah, you're trying to prevent them from going around. They're kind of dumb, but they are super powerful. Like instead, like when you go around, you put down 3, 2, and 1 of your cubes for the area control part. But the robot goes around and they put down 4, 3, 2. So it's a bit tougher to go against them. So you want to try to get them to like go into places that you don't care about by taking the dice that they need and like just shoving them away so they can't keep up or making them go too far ahead, that sort of thing.
You play over 3 or 4 rounds, something like that? I'm trying to
3
remember.
rounds.
3 rounds, yeah. Okay.
And it ends up being basically the same game, a 2-player game, but 1 player automated.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm showing a shot of what I think is the kind of coolest part. Look, everything you've heard, Steve, you might have heard in other games. It's area majority, right? It's, dice rolling, and yeah, even some of that is where you're controlling your actions. Here's where the twist is. He's got 2 cards. One of them for the players. I can't remember what it's called. Infusion or influence, something like that.
Infusions.
Infusion, yeah. And that is like the special rule that everybody's going to have to deal with, right? And you also have what's called the shadow. Imagine the big boss who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes of all the little mob bosses. You think you're in control of the city. What you don't really know is the shadow really is in control. So everything we do during the game, we have a special benefit for us, but the shadow always takes his cut or something like that. Okay. And that's what these other cards are for. And what I like about this, there's the historian, something out in the background that they can do it. John, now the copy I sent is an early prototype, so not all the cards are in there. I'm sure he's going to reveal more during the Kickstarter page. But one of my favorite things is how these 2 cards interplay. Even with only 3 or 4 cards of each, the combination, Steve, change the game every time. If one of them says that, control tokens are going to disappear anytime you go there, and the other one says you really need to have a majority if you want to get this certain section, well, all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, how did these 2 things work? So do you still play those 2 cards in the solo game?
Yes. So yeah, you still have that interplay, and I really like that because sometimes there's the friendly version where both of them are kind of positive, but sometimes you can get the shadow, which is you have to control the shadow because it'll do negative things. The cards are very different, which is it leads to a lot of replayability.
That is cool, and that's with a smile and a gun. It's got it comes from a quote, if I remember right, from Al Capone that said, "You can get a lot of things done with a smile, but you can get a lot more done with a smile and a gun."
Yeah,
and that's where John came up with it. So it's got a cool theme. I think he's gonna clean up the graphics. So the pictures that I'm showing you, that's not the final production. That's just kind of early prototypes that he was letting me play. So that was fun. And that is with the smile and a gun. And you're doing a lot of solo work. Anything you can talk about?
If you've heard of Vinyl by Talent Strikes.
Eric's coming on the show in a couple of weeks.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I am working on that too.
Very cool.
I will need to. So you might be doing the solo version of the actual game Vinyl. It doesn't have a solo version right now? No?
I think it might have a minor one. I'm not sure. I actually just got in the games, but so he has all these different expansions. So I'm going to make one overarching, you can play solo with all the things, and here's your big solo pack.
Hey, look at
Speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil. Hey, John, you just missed it. We just wraps. Wraps what Sonic. waxed rhapsodically about your game. So, and Carla was telling us about the solo. So, hey, John, again, thanks for sending it to us. It's fun. Chris got a question or a statement. Solo play is hard to design. Mechanics are easy, but keeping it fun is difficult. Agree? Disagree?
I don't know. I disagree because I make just a lot of robots. One reason why I disagree is I'm a software engineer by trade. So making an automated robot is like, that's what I went to school for, and that's what I do.
It's programming, right?
Yeah, it's just programming. So if you could make like an if-then like tree series, that's relatively easy for like a regular human to like read. You can make something that does things in like a programmatic way, but like if you put like a deck or something with it where it can do one of these 6 things, like you can have an idea of what it'll do, but like you're not sure, much like a human. Like a human's going to do one of these 3 things probably, and they'll do it in this sort of way, but you're not sure how they'll get it done.
But you like the control of being able to set that pattern and seeing how humans react to the pattern.
Yeah, well, like, because it's kind of like real life. Because like when you play with somebody, like if you play enough games with them, you're like, oh, okay, so this person's more of a passive aggressive person, or they're more aggressive. Like when I'm going to play with this person, they are going to attack me, so I need to defend. Like it's the same sort of thing. Like where players have their own like player type, so do robots.
Do you ever play two-fisted? Do you know what I'm talking about? Glenn Flaherty calls it two-fisted, where you play a game solo, but you play the green and the blue player against yourself, basically.
No. That sounds terrible.
I actually do play. Steve, do you ever do it?
No, the closest I'll come to doing that is if it's a co-op game, I can do two-handed, but then I'm still on my own team.
Yeah,
True. I do it, and here's why. I always hate teaching a game that I've never played before. So a lot of times I'll break out the rules and I'll play and I'll actually put the pieces on opposite sides of the table. And that's to make me look at the board differently and also to try to come up with 2 different strategies. What would Dave or Bradley or Verla or Steve or somebody do on that side? And usually the other side beats me. In fact, I always lose to myself. So
I have done that once or twice, not to try out strategies, but in preparation for a teach, so that I can see what it looks like on both sides and talk about what might be.
Jay likes your comments. Jay says, I never thought about that, Carla. I'm going to keep that in mind if I work on a solo. And that is with a smile on the gun from John Valorant's company. I can't think. Sorry, John, I just can't remember. Subsurface Games coming out on Kickstarter very soon. Thank you again, John, for sending it to the Gumbo and letting us play. BJ from Board Game Gumbo, I've got my guests here, Carla. Steve and I are talking to Carla Kopp from Weird Giraffe Games and Galactic Raptor Games, and you and I have played a game. Steve, I don't think you've played this, but Carla, you've played Rap Godz.
I have.
All right, so I got some comments from Meepletown a couple of weeks ago, right before our vacation. So I'm curious to hear, what do you think of Amari and Hamu's game, Rap Godz?
I liked it a lot. It was actually like, so I thought it would be heavier than it was, but it was actually like pretty, like, I wouldn't say gateway, but like close to gateway. Which I
think that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
I also thought that because when I took a look at the board, I remember thinking, seeing the pictures on social media, and they actually demoed this game and another game at Southern Board Game Fest last year. And I remember seeing the board going, wow, that looks like a pretty medium weight Euro. And then I got the game in, and I was like, wait, this is, it's not Ticket to Ride, but it's like the next level. It's like, I love New York 1901. It's a game that the Fitches like too. And it's not Ticket to Ride, but it's that next step for somebody that plays Ticket to Ride. And I remember thinking that, well, this is, and it kind of relaxed me. I was like, oh, great. This is a game I'm just going to enjoy. We're going to tell a story while we're playing this game. I'm not going to have, like Lisboa, 7 things to think about, and then I have to undo them because I did them wrong, right?
Yeah. It was very calming.
I think that's tougher to do. Steve, you and I talked about before the show with Dr. Steve Finn. Steve Finn always he's always looking to take stuff out of a game, right? Carla, I think sometimes it's tougher to make a simpler game that is still fun than it is to throw in a lot of mechanics. Just keep piling them on top of each other in an effort to make fun. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I definitely agree. Like that's almost all designers are like, let's fix a problem by adding in a bunch of stuff, and like being able to be like, oh, okay, what is the good part of the game? Like, what is necessary, and what like let's take out all the rest. Like, that's the hard part. So.
So some people who get that and do that really well. I think Steve does that well. I also see Phil Walker Harding does that kind of distill it down, get the basics across, and make it work wonderfully.
So for people who haven't played Rap Godz, can you give them the elevator pitch? What's the game about?
So you are going through, there's the 3 different aspects of your character. I think the vocals and money and another thing.
Fame or reputation or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Yeah.
Something like that.
Skills, right?
Yeah. So you're going through and you are getting all these 3 different kind of resources. If you're the first one to get around, you'll get 1 bonus thing, which is like a minor thing. But what you're doing is really like telling the story of your character. Like you have a life event each time, and like those are the things that are on the screen now. They'll get you certain things, like the one on the left will get
some
you
new kicks.
Yeah. You do that. They each have a different color. Oh, street cred, skills, and swag.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
So yeah. Yeah, that's what the streets is. The street cred. But yeah, so you're getting all these 3 different resources, and like to have certain life events, some of them have requirements as you go along. But there's also the set collection mechanic in it, where like your character might give you bonus points if you play like only gray and green like life events. The board also says like there's there's 3 different cities usually, or like players plus 1.
Exactly, players plus 1 if I remember right.
Yeah, where they'll give you bonus points at the end for either having like the most blue or the least blue, that sort of thing. So you want to like work with what your character has. Like each character has a special power too, and go to what the board has, because there's also you get bonus points for like doing like special things on the side that change each game.
Those 5 little awards, those circles on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to try to balance the whole, like, what gets in-game points, what gets the bonus circles on the side, and also what does your character want the most.
I also love the fact that as you go around the board, you're kind of racing to get those cool little special bonuses. And it's that positive reinforcement that I think Jamie Stegmaier does really well with Stonemaier games, where, it's that, I just got to get 2 more, and then I'm going to get this cool reward. And even if you're not playing that well, like I was when I played Rap Godz, even though I wasn't playing well, every time I was able to hit those benchmarks or score, in other words, qualify for one of those awards, it had that positive reinforcement that I really enjoy in games.
Yeah.
I was impressed, man. Rap Godz was pretty cool. And what I always love is seeing someone that takes really a lot of attention to detail. And Hamu, I mean, if you look at this stuff, the gold records that you earn as points, even the backs of them, which could have been just plain cardboard or the Rap Godz symbol like so many games would have. No, look at that. They have a little wire so you can hang your awards up on the wall. See that little wire? I mean, that's just that's just
cool.
classic.
Am I seeing a Cthulhu wrapper there?
It's a Cthulhu wrapper at the bottom, and look, it's a stormtrooper.
Old school old ones.
The old school old ones, and then look, Strider. It's like a stormtrooper wrapper on the left side. So I pulled those out because it's got, I think that is Omari on the top, and then the other 2 cards are just kind of cool. So I like it when designers and graphic artists like Hamu really take care to pay attention to detail like that. And the game was just a pleasure to put out on the table and fun. As long as you go in knowing it's a light game. If you're thinking, hey, I want this is going to be my next medium heavy game, you might be disappointed. Maybe that's not the game for you. But if you still like playing like I do, like playing family weight games, a game you can throw around the table and teach anybody, then that's one of the things that I like. What do you think, Carla?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's like replaced my other like gateway games as like if I don't know if people have played games before, I'll introduce them to this game because like, it's very easy. Like, can you understand colors and the 3 resources? You'll most likely be able to understand this.
Set collection and moving around the track, right? You can teach everybody that.
Yeah.
Well, and you get to tell a story.
yeah, you tell a story and like a super different theme. Like everyone's heard rap music, or like has listened to music before, because it's like it's not just rap. So like, I mean, very different theme, like high production quality, very simple. Why not?
I think it is a one. I think it plays in about an hour, right?
Yeah,
Carla, as I
think
recall.
so.
I never really
Yeah.
timed it, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. So it seems like it's right in that hour mark, maybe a
Yeah,
little bit
I think
over.
depends on player count. I think it can be like I think 40 to 60 minutes. I think
Yeah,
the box.
that sounds right.
Okay. That's good.
I can do
That
it.
sounds all right. BJ from More Game Gumbo. I've got my guest here, Carla Kopp from Galactic Raptor Games. Time to talk about some Roaring Right. It's blowing up on Kickstarter.
Whoa!
It's always nice to come on the show and you're not even worried. It's already funded. So give us the story. Give us the background. Roaring Right is a randowriter based on a game that you and Dan already published from Steve Aramini, Animal Kingdoms. But what's the game about?
Okay, so in the game, you are one of many people that might become the regent of the Animal Kingdoms. But to do so, you have to, one, impress all the people of the Animal Kingdoms and impress the selection committee. There's going to be 5 people on the selection committee, and there'll be cards like oh yeah, you have them up, where they're like the frog and the lizard and stuff. And each different selection committee member wants a certain thing. Like one of them might really like threes, another one might like even pairs or odds or different numbers. But you're going to be playing and then choosing which of the selection committee members to try to impress each round. It's played over 5 rounds, and each round is made up of 3 dice rolls of 6 numbers. So you're going to be seeing a total of 18 dice. But if you write down all the numbers from the first roll, you'll get an extra 4 bonus points. Or if you take from the first and the second roll, you'll get an extra 2 bonus points. But if you go to the third, no bonus points for you. You get to also write in the top part of the score sheet. You can do 1 die per roll. Unless you want to give up like some of your numbers from the council, you can put an X in the council and get additional rolls to put in the top area for the kingdoms to try to fill up those kingdoms. If you do fill up a kingdom, you get an extra points based on the kingdom.
Steve, I think that's the thing that you and I thought was maybe the most decisive moments of the game, when you figured you could get some extra points, but do you give up that, where on the sheet can you give up that little X and just take it? Oh, I really want to add another dice roll. Where did that come from, Carla? Because that's not in the original game. That's something that's tied to this game, right?
Yeah, so that's in this game. So at one point in time, this was not an Animal Kingdoms game. But
Really?
yeah. So how it came to be an Animal Kingdoms game is I gave myself a goal. Like 2020, I was going to enter 12 different contests.
Okay.
And one of the most important things about entering contests is having fancy art so it looks cool.
Okay.
Like if you don't look good, nobody wants to play the game. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I have all this Animal Kingdom art. I have this game. It fits together. Bibo was actually the one that she's like, yeah, you should put animals on this art. And I was like, cool, whatever.
And you love animals.
Yeah, I do love animals, and I had this art. So like, then I did that. So I made it the Animal Kingdoms Rollin' Right, and then I was like, whoa, this super fits. This could be the Animal Kingdoms Rollin' Right.
Oh wait, so you weren't even planning on that? It was just kind of I have the game. It's already there,
and it's
yeah. Well, like after I played it and I was thinking about it, well, like because all the council members, they're kind of like the decrees in the game where you have to like score in a certain way. The only thing that changed between like actually going the Animal Kingdoms route was the top kingdoms area. That was Dan wanted it to be more Animal Kingdoms like, so that part we actually went through like a couple different iterations. The first iteration was actual area control, much like Animal Kingdoms, but that one was pretty tough because, well, like in area control, you want to pay attention to what other people are doing, and like we gave and we gave extra points. Like, oh yeah, if you finish this kingdom first, you get more points. So before you wanted to write down anything. Yeah, well, you do until you realize, like, oh, okay, you want to know what every other player is doing on their little score pad, and that it, like, just broke the whole, like, play it over Zoom, play it with anyone, play it with 50 people, like, that, yeah. It was rough that way. But changing it to be just, like, if you fill it in, you get the points, it still had that, like, the choice between, like, the different areas, like, the weighting of that between the council and the agendas. Like, it had all that without, like, the terribleness of what is everyone else doing.
Right. Chat Krewe, got any questions for Carla Kopp about Galactic Raptor's Roar and Write? What a cool name. Where did the name come? Steve, if you have any questions, jump in. Sure. Where did the name Roar and Write come from?
Well, Dan,
you've gotten a lot of compliments for that name on social media. It's a great name.
Yeah. Dan was like, hey, let's not name it the Animal Kingdom's Roll and Write, because, like, just in case we want to do, like, an Animal Kingdom's Roll and Write that was, like, more Animal Kingdomsly, I guess. And I was like, okay, what's an animal named thing? And
thank you, Jay.
Oh, thank you. You're awesome. I was like, Roar and Write, because dinosaurs roar, right? And I guess, like, Dan didn't come up with anything better, so I was like, yes, Roar and Write.
That's a Steve, the name father name right there. Don't you think, Steve? Roar and Write. Look, he's giving you a salute. That is classic. Steve, you got a question?
My first thought when we played this 3 players, and we played it, like you were saying, over distance, so we were interacting with a spreadsheet version of scoring things. Really appreciated that. Thought that worked really well. I was nervous at the beginning, thinking that we were all going to maybe follow the same tracks and go in the same direction. But very quickly, after the first roll or 2, we really diverged, and we're going in different directions. I was impressed by that, seeing as how I was a bit nervous at the beginning that it was going to be on tracks or on rails. Not that way at all.
Yeah, usually people go in different directions because of the personal agendas. Like, they just like different numbers and different pairs, like having them care about 3 numbers, and usually, like, the numbers, like, there's very little overlap between everyone. Yeah, that means, like, everyone's slightly, like, thinking something else, unless it's like, oh, all the dice are 6s. Then you might do the same thing.
While we're all trying to accomplish some of the same things, we have different routes to get there, and it does put a pressure on you to take a slightly different route. I liked it.
Well, thank you.
Tell me about the art. Where did you find this artist? Because one thing that stands out about Animal Kingdoms and about Roar and Write is this is absolutely gorgeous art. Jay mentioned it, that the red panda might be my favorite also. The red panda is just absolutely gorgeous.
So Katie Grierson, she did the art for Animal Kingdoms. Animal Kingdoms was the first game that we worked with her on. And since then, she's done... she did the art for, like, the box art for Tumbletown and some other things for
that was her? Okay.
Yeah, she did some of the art for Big Easy Busking as well. Okay. Yeah, she is amazing. She's in England.
Steve, look at this stuff, man. This is just gorgeous, man.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, and she's also done some Gift of Tulips stuff, which is another upcoming game of mine. Basically, I love working with her. She's fantastic. She does so many different kinds of, like, styles and stuff. Like, have you seen the Kingdoms of the Deep artwork?
I have not seen that. I need to take a look at that. So you are an expert on copies, right?
Yes. As much as most people in board games.
Well, out of all the people I know, maybe I should have prefaced it with that. Out of all the people I've ever interacted with, you are the most expert on copies that I know. I would call upon you as my expert witness. So how close did Katie get to it?
She got it.
Is this an accurate representation of an O-copy?
Yeah, for sure. Like, well, I sent her a lot of pictures, but yeah.
And why does it look like 3 different animals?
It's at least zebra and giraffe.
Well, it is the only relative of the giraffe. It's around the same area as the zebra, so, like, for the same reasons the zebra has the stripes to, like, blend in, it has the stripes.
Sure.
I don't know. Weird things happen in nature.
Look at that frog. That frog is just perfect. Really good. And that is...
I'm going down the rabbit hole on her artwork here in ArtStation.
Oh,
it's just gorgeous.
Oh. Have you found the Kingdoms of the Deep art?
Is it just animals, or does she do all kinds of different things?
I'm seeing some from what looks like Animal Kingdoms, but I'm seeing others. Seem to be other fantasy games or other fantasy.
Yeah.
Thomas said, "Carla, you can't do that. Are you hinting about another game coming out? Give us the scoop."
Oh, yeah, Kingdoms of the Deep. It was supposed to come out already, but COVID sometimes ruins our lives.
Yeah, changes everything.
Yeah.
So Thomas needs to keep an eye out for that. All right, what you got?
Sure.
Oh, she did that part? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the street scenes that you compete over whenever you're trying to do your performances, I think you called them, right? Performances?
Yeah, you're doing your thing to the crowd. She also did this one.
That was in Big Easy Busking?
That is Big Easy Busking. Wow, that's gorgeous. Look at that color palette. Now, I know that you had a hand in the color palette, though, if I remember right. Yeah, you said jazz it up. Jazz it up as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry.
So it's Roar and Write. It's out on Kickstarter right now. You guys have already funded. Can you give some little teases for the chat crew about what we can expect? Because you've been in the comments, you've been promising some upgrades, right?
Yeah. So the first
what's happened so far, and what you expecting?
So we reached this first stretch goal of sparkly dice, which is fancy and cool.
Sure.
But the next stretch goal is going to be custom dice, which I'm excited about because I've never actually done custom dice in a board game before. So we're going to do that.
Yeah. What do you mean by custom dice? You mean like the lettering will be unique?
The lettering, and there'll be like icons.
Okay.
Like little feathers, like the icons from Animal Kingdoms, where like each thing had an icon. Like the owl had the feather, and there was a paw print for the tiger. Those are going to be on the dice.
That's going to be on the dice.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then I saw some highlights for the dice, if you can get to that level, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Yeah.
Any scoops you can tell us?
We are going to have, I believe, an add-on where you can get like fancy laminated sheets instead. Because, like, I mean, who doesn't like laminated sheets? But yeah, like just one thing we did want, I don't know if we'll do it now or with Kingdoms of the Deep, is having a different score sheet or different of these for the different animals that are in the deep version of the game. So
now, one thing we didn't talk about, Rowan, right? It's not just a game that you play around the table with 3 or 4 people. Mm-hmm. You've tested this with a bunch of people, right?
Oh yeah,
what's the most?
I think Dan's played with like people on Twitch, where he just puts it up, and I think it's been like 20 or so.
Wow.
But yeah, when we go to conventions, I'm really excited because then we can do like the big rooms, like 100 people all at the same time. Like, let's play this 15-minute game.
Hey, we got Southern Board Game Fest next September, so a year from this September. Unfortunately, we're having to move it. You know, I don't know if you know, there's this virus thing going around, so we had to kind of move it. So it should be ready by next September for us to do it as a con game.
Yeah, it should be ready in like a couple months.
Oh, okay. Well, next September, come to the convention and run it as a convention game for us. Wouldn't that be fun? We'll get like 100 people to play it.
I'm excited. I was like sad that this year it didn't work out, but like, yeah, I understand.
Kelly said she saw some Kingdom of the Deep artwork in Carla's discard, an Insta bag just for the art. Now, it's true. Kelly's like me. She sees artwork like this and she gets really excited. I do too. I love that. I love seeing that. It's John from Meeptown that doesn't care about the art. I care about the art, Carla. I want to see it.
Well, Kickstarter link is there in the chat for folks to click on, and we've got at least Jay who's gone over and clicked and backed. So
and that is Roar and Write coming out from Galactic Raptor. It's out on Kickstarter. You think it'll be ready this fall? And get out there and take a look at the Kickstarter part. What's the price point on it?
$19 with shipping.
Come on, people.
Yes,
that's pretty easy.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. This is a board game show, Carla. You know what that means, right?
We're going to play a game?
We're going to play a game, and I've got a special surprise for you. I've got some friends formerly of Houston, but now living in the great up north, the cold, barren climates of Nebraska, way up there. By the way, TV stars. So this cost me a lot of money to get them on the show. I want you to know that, and I care about that. I mean, they used to be just regular people. Now, you know, they got
shield your eyes. Shield your eyes.
Everybody put on the sunglasses.
Don't look directly at them.
Who do we have our special guest? If they're there they are, Mick and Starla Fitch from our family games. Mick, you love that. You know you did.
No, I do not.
You like that.
When I have Oprah's phone number on my cell, then I'm gonna be famous.
Then you'll be a star. You know, that's
Oprah,
next.
do you hear me? I need your phone number.
That's next. They're gonna have their own show on the O Network. Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, Kelly said that. We knew them when.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
We knew them when.
How you doing? Doing
Hello. Awesome. I don't know if you've met Carla Kopp before. Have you met Carla?
No, we have not.
Carla, Mick, Starla from Our Family Plays Games. They were recently on ABC visiting with Michael Strahan. I'm sure you saw it on social media.
I did.
It was awesome. They mentioned one of our joint favorite games, New York 1901. That was super awesome. Yeah. I got a text message from Shanae going, "Did you see it?" I was like, "Yeah, Shanae." I loved it. It was great. So, all right, we're going to play a game. This is my chance to sit back. The name father is going to take over from here. Mick and Starla, we've got a game for you tonight, and we're going to be playing against each other. So no holds barred, right?
Yeah, yes, no holds barred.
Bring it. Okay. Let me walk you through this. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to walk through the game. I'll kind of facilitate, but Carla's in charge. Carla's the judge, and her decisions are final, kind of like Taskmaster and like Alex has been talking about online.
Yes.
This is a game where I've given each of BJ, Mick, and Starla 4 categories. And they had to pick a game that fit that category to the best of their tastes. And when I tell you the category, they're going to make their sales pitch to you, Carla, about a game that they think fits. 4 categories, 4 quarters, kind of like a football game. You're going to be picking for each of those 4 categories the first place, who gets a touchdown, 7 points. Second place, who gets a field goal, 3 points. And third place, let me just check that I'm doing this correctly in Louisiana style. Konoyo.
Konoyo. Konoyo. The big
0.
fat 0. Yeah.
Okay. Over 4 rounds.
Oh, you're so close, Steve.
I was close. All right. Well, what do us Yankees up north know? All right. Over 4 rounds, they'll add up the total points, and there'll be 1 winner. And if we end up with a tie, the only rule is that BJ loses.
It's true. All you got to do is.
All right. So I've got 4 categories.
Alex said he turned it on and you heard Taskmaster. You turned it on to the perfect time.
It's like Slender Man or Beetlejuice. You say it 3 times and Alex appears.
I didn't hear Steve say it, so I'm going to throw it in there. Carla, you can, if you want to, listen to the chat crew because they will make their appeals as to who you should vote for. Because I'll tell you, me and Mick, we're going to be playing to the crowd. Starla, she's got her fan base already, so she doesn't have to worry. But me and Mick, we're going to be playing to the crowd.
And I encourage the 3 of you who are playing to bring the trash talk too, because that can sometimes get you above by putting somebody else's pick down. You can do that.
We don't have no problem with that.
Good to go. All right. So I got 4 categories. They've already picked their games. So I'll tell you the categories and then I'll lead you through one at a time for each person to pick and tell you theirs. And then Carla, you make the call who's first, second, or third.
Okay.
First category is your aw shoot game, a game that can frustrate you. And that could be in a good or a bad way. So the first category is aw shoot. And let's go in the order that I had them here. So BJ, you can go first, and then we'll follow with Starla and Mick.
Okay, good. So I got to play with Jeremy, the Game Geek Ninja, over at BGG Con a year or 2 ago, a game called Carcassonne Safari. Now, I know Mick and Starla love Carcassonne, so they have nothing bad to say about this game. That's why I picked it. But Carcassonne Safari, Carcassonne, the game, drives me crazy. I absolutely love it. It's one of the reasons I got into Euro games. But sometimes you just don't get the tiles that you need to do it, or the farmers are killing you. Now, Safari kind of takes that out because you don't really have farmers in there, but you still have those little scoring chips. And man, just when you think you're going to get that big bonus on the scoring chips, somebody else like Mick or Starla just comes in, swoops in, and takes all the points. And that just drives me crazy. It's a beautiful game. It looks so friendly, but it's really a knife fight in the elevator, and it doesn't look like it. So that's my shot. It's all about the Safari, but it's Carcassonne Safari.
Okay. So next is Starla.
That's strong.
What's your pick, Starla?
My game is one that Mick and I go head to head with all the time.
Woo! Fighting.
And we really have a major battle because if somebody gets the right resources and the other person doesn't, you're either going to quit playing because you know you don't have.
And that's you. I can't get no resources. I got to stop. That's you.
So it is Seven Wonders Duel. Now, we first started playing that game. We were playing over and over because if he would win, then I would have to win, and vice versa. And it's one of those games where you're just gonna be upset.
What's your strategy in that one? Are you going for military, or are you trying to get those science bonuses? What is?
Tries to do military. I go for resources so that I can get the.
And
stuff
then she
I want.
beat me on military one time. I couldn't even. I mean, I just couldn't stop her. She just kept pushing.
It's
So,
tough.
yeah, it's a frustrating game, but we love it.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice. And no, Jay, it's not that I don't like Carcassonne. It's that it frustrates me. It's that game that frustrates me in a good or a bad way.
Okay, Mick, batting third.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, mine
Mick, take a look at this. Alex is already picking Seven Wonders Duel. Come strong, man.
Oh, no. Mine is five tribes. It's evil in the hands of a person that wants to destroy you, and that's Starla. Because she hurts folk. She hurts folk.
That is not fair.
That is true.
That's not fair.
That is
no.
Yes,
Starla,
it is.
that's a mean game, Starla.
Awesome game.
Five tribes is awesome. Yes, it is.
Especially when you do two-player. Two
Yes,
players head
yes.
to head.
But
it's your chess match.
But it's frustrating when you go 20-0 to her. 20-0.
Wow.
20-0.
Starla, you've
She
never
beat me up
lost
so
in two
much, I
players?
just said I had to give it. I almost gave up the game. Almost. It was almost.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Okay.
that's a record. Man, Carla, I don't envy your choice here.
And then I won one time. I said, okay, I'm coming back. Next game, she beat me. I'm like, oh, shoot.
Oh,
I'm
winning,
like, come on.
winning, go out on a high note.
Yeah, you should have stopped.
No, I just
All
kept
right.
on playing.
Interesting.
Because that's our favorite game. So Five Tribes is frustrating when you're playing against somebody that just beats the crap out of you every day, but it's satisfying because it's a great game.
Has to be a good game to make you want to come back for more of that.
Wow, the chat crew is the chat crew is killing us, Mick. Wow.
Yeah. Well, the chat crew is all about Seven Wonders, but I have to agree. I like Five Tribes, but like that feeling, like when you're watching people put down the little meeples, like you are so tense because you're like, don't mess up my move. Like I know what I'm doing, just don't.
I'm ready.
Mess it up, and then they do, and it's like, oh gosh, like so yeah.
So Five Tribes gets the touchdown, right?
Yeah, they get the touchdown.
I mean touchdown. Touchdown.
I see done. No spiking in the end zone. We're not finished with the game.
Okay. All right.
Flag, excessive celebration.
Right.
Oh shoot.
Seriously.
All right.
You got second place? You got a second place?
Seven Wonders Duel. For sure. Yeah, it was close.
That's
it was close, but
place.
yeah, because like you always people always take the ones you want, like the resources on that pyramid,
You
like,
understand my pain.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, let me just do a little bit of accounting here. That's Mick, Starla, and is there somebody else playing the game? Who else is playing?
There is.
Oh, BJ.
Big fan.
I really appreciate. I love how you're doing this right off the bat, Carla. Telling BJ he was close. When you know, it's really humoring the host. Okay.
Vic,
Your
Thomas
second
wants
category.
I can't do it. I got a flag already.
No. But you got the Mickey Shuffle. All right.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna do the
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. Your next category. You just finished. Oh shoot. Your next category is that's cute. This is a game where you love the look of it, and it really the look of it just makes you smile. Okay. So we started with BJ. Let's rotate this around, and I wonder where Starla's going to go with this one. Starla, you're up.
We wonder where she's gonna go.
We know.
So cute. Whenever you see it, you can't help but smile because who wouldn't love a happy pig? So happy pigs are cute. They're square. They're pink. They've got little bug eyes. They're so cute. That's it.
Those dang pigs.
That's it. The happy pig.
That's her favorite cute.
It's
favorite
so
cute.
Yeah.
Favorite cute.
I mean, they're square.
They're square.
Yeah.
And someone helped. And then we found the other animals, the pigs, the sheep, and the cows had to get that.
What about the ducks?
Oh, we got the ducks.
Yeah, the ducks.
But you maybe get the other ones too.
Yeah, but the pigs are the cutest.
Pigs. Kelly and Verla were all over that one. They knew that was coming. All right, Starla's out strong.
I'm gonna have to play this game someday. It's my turn.
think we're rotating to Mick now, and then we'll come back around to you, BJ.
Okay.
Not a good choice.
What's your that's cute?
It's not a good choice.
My choice is Scythe.
There's nothing cute about
It's-
Scythe. There's nothing cute about
killing me.
Scythe, period.
Alex, she's killing me.
It's a beautiful game in a bad sort of way, a dystopian kind of cute kind of way.
This is a
Dystopian
DJ pick right
kinda-
here.
This
This is
is
a
But
DJ.
What? No, it's kind of cute.
No, it's not cute.
It's cute
But
in
you
its
could've
own
chosen
kind of
my
way. It's
little
cute.
We have a ton of games, and out of all the games, he picked Scythe as the cute. Are you out?
Oh
I didn't-
no,
I didn't-
Carla might be tipping her hand. She asked about what about my little Scythe as the
Yeah,
cute
like that's the
No.
cute version.
No,
Now that may be cute, but the Scythe was not cute.
no, I like Scythe. Scythe.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well,
The
the way I was
The
putting it is
beauty of war.
if it's the game that makes you smile with the look of it, Mick's playing by his rules. Okay, all
That's right.
right.
That's right.
I
BJ,
did
That's
not.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
BJ, show him how to pick it correctly.
I did not have to do the sideline or pick incorrectly because Mick took that one in the second round. So I'm going to go with something that I think is super cute. If you've ever seen us, the Gumbo crew, play Downforce, we play
Yeah.
Downforce with the Mario Kart meeples instead of carts
Oh.
instead of the regular cars. So we've got Bowser,
Yeah,
we've got
yeah.
Princess, and we've got Yoshi. But
Yeah.
add in the
That would
newest
be
track
cute.
in the Wild Ride track. You've got the back side of the board, which has all these cute little animals all over it. It's got snakes
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
alligators,
Yeah.
and they block up your routes, and you're trying to get
Yeah.
there. And it's so I have some gorgeous pictures of Toad and Bowser and Donkey Kong all beating each other up trying to get there. And it looks like we're actually playing Mario Kart, the video game. Those little
Yeah.
cars, those little
Yeah.
Nintendo Power cars. Oh yeah, Jay, they're out there. You got to find them. You can get them at Best Buy, a couple of places. I went to 5 different stores till I got
Whoa.
all. I even got Metal Mario. I even got Metal Mario. I got them all.
Grant would,
Wario.
Grant would love
Grant
that.
would love it.
Grant
so
would just go
He
crazy for
loves
that.
Mario.
Be clear on this. You need to get them from Mario Kart Gamer. Is that
Yes,
the
so
game
it's
that
Mario
you get
Kart
from?
Gamer, and they
Okay.
sell the individuals for it. It comes with the first 5, and then you can buy more if you want to. You got to substitute
Mhm.
Donkey Kong for the orange because it's kind of close to the color. They don't really have an orange Mario Kart color, but if you do
Yeah.
all of those things there, and you add the animals from the Wild Ride track, and you got it, just seems like something right out of any kind of Nintendo game. So that's my pick:
Mhm.
Downforce
All right.
Wild Ride with the animals and the Mario Karts.
The
Okay.
chat's got some interesting feedback for you here, Carla. Mario Kart Meeples, BJ might take this one. Alex saying that at least you were competent this time, BJ, but he's still going with half the picks for the win.
I didn't
There's a
have
little-
to go Cylon. I've got Mick in this round. Mick with the Cylon.
All right, Carla, what are you thinking? First place, second place, third place on this
Well, I
one?
mean, Starla actually went with the category, so happy pigs. Of course.
Okay.
Yay!
All right,
The kids are so cute.
Starla.
Mario's
Really?
not cute.
Well, like that's not you. Like put other things in
Yeah,
a game. Like
Out at the game. It doesn't come with the game.
yeah,
okay.
like,
can't fight the
yeah,
pigs.
like,
You
that's-
can't fight the pigs.
It's true.
Can't fight them.
I
That is-
say.
There you go, Jay.
the other two
That's
just
my
get
buddy,
0. Like, no.
I'm sorry, Mario Kart. The Mario Kart Downforce gets 0.
Yeah, they both like
Oh,
0. It's
I think
like
I'll-
okay.
I think I was disqualified.
I think that was a judgment call on your playing of the game, not the game itself.
Oh man.
I got
Penalty.
must
Penalty
respect,
flag. Penalty flag.
must respect
Yeah.
the taskmasters on this one. She said 0 points for you, BJ.
yeah,
So
I mean, it doesn't come in the box.
Mm,
So
That's
it does
right.
not.
That's right.
That's
But
right.
Steve's note said a game you love where the look of it really makes you smile. He didn't say a game that comes right out of the box that makes you smile. So I think
I
in the
didn't-
spirit of the rules.
Okay. Okay.
I also didn't say a game that you can buy that doesn't look cute, but you can make it cute if you spend more money.
Well, downforce cars are cute. If you've ever seen them, they are.
They
But
are,
they're
are.
cuter, but they're all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're at halftime.
What's our
Halftime.
score here? Well, let's
10
just go with the
for Mick.
first 2 scores. We don't need the third place score right now.
Well, the first 2 scores are tied, and then there's you. 10 from there. 10 for Starla. They flipped flip-flopped the touchdown and field goal in quarter
Oh,
one.
you got Tim too?
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
Both at 10.
We
BJ has
tied? Oh,
as they can
that's
see in
so
horse racing. When there's a horse at the back of the pack, BJ can see them all.
I can see them all. I can see the race. I've got Mick and Starla right where I want them. Right where I want 'em.
Exactly. All right. So you've had shoot. That's cute.
Okay.
Third quarter, back from a halftime show. You've got the big brute. What's the heavy game that you love the most?
And who's that?
It's going to be, we keep rotating around. We're up to Mick going off first here.
All right. Okay. My heavy game that'll make it kind of hurt your head a little bit and is ugly. Ugly as I don't know what. And I do not know why Starla likes it. It's the ugliest thing in this world, and Starla loves the game.
It's not cute.
I'll never understand it. Never. It's not cute at all. And that's Hunza Teutonica. It's heavy. Oh, it's hard.
I've never played it. Carla,
I
have you
haven't
played
either, but I want to play it.
I mean, it's no random, it's no luck, it's no nothing. It's all you.
And that's what I like.
It's all you.
I
What
like that it's you. You make the way, and I love it.
Is there room to add the Mario Kart meeples in it?
No,
No, not at all.
no, it's ugly. It is ugly.
I tried.
There's no room. No room in what is that? Is that probably Renaissance Germany for Mario?
Renaissance Germany. Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think
and that's all ugly. That's all ugly.
But I hear good things about the game, and I think there's a big box version of it coming.
It's an awesome game.
It is an awesome game.
Interesting.
I mean, the first time we played it, Starla wanted it. She said, "Mick, you're approved." I'm like, "Yes, I got improvement."
Nice. All right, Hunza Teutonica on the board. I think we're coming around to BJ. BJ's next for
All
your
right, so
big group.
You didn't say heavy as in mechanics. So I was thinking a heavy box and Aquatica.
Are you trying to win? Are you trying to win?
Are you trying?
Come on.
Aquatica is a super heavy box that has tons of components. And Carla, it's got the cutest little mantas. The mantas are gorgeous. The artwork in this game is phenomenal.
Dude, you're a category late.
Aquatica by Cosmodrome Games. And what's really neat about it is it looks like just a simple family-friendly engine building style game, sort of like a.
I think BJ be doing his own.
What was that, Vic?
He said I'm playing my own
BJ
game.
doing his own thing. Because if you want to go heavy, I just go get Gloomhaven over here.
Right.
That's
No,
right.
Gloomhaven will be
Gloomhaven.
heavy. I don't own Gloomhaven. Aquatica is a nice, solid, heavy box, and it's got beautiful components. You said that I love the most, and Steve will tell you, is there a game I've talked about more in 2020 than
Probably
Aquatica?
not. Probably not.
I still want to get that. I want to check that out. I still want to get that.
Oh, Thomas has got an idea. Use real bricks and stones.
That'd be heavy.
That would have been heavy.
That'd be heavy. All right. And now back to Starla for your heavy game
Booed on my own show.
on Verla's show.
Terra Mystica.
Ooh.
Absolutely love it. First time I played it, it gave me a headache, and we had to take a break to go get it because I was like, I don't know, but I love Terra Mystica. I love the terraforming aspect. I love the building of your own areas. I love it. It's a wonderful game.
And her house rules that I can't have certain races certain factions because it'll beat her. That's not right. It's not right. It's not right at all.
Carla, have you played Terra Mathematica?
No. I have not.
That's good.
So I've played none of these games.
Okay. So now it's all the quality of the arguments.
I guess
Chat?
No, Aquatica is the closest to Kingdom of the Deep. I was picking it for a reason.
Oh, come on.
Really?
Yes, really. Yes, really.
Well, out of those three, the one that I've heard of before is Terra Mystica. So
All right.
I guess I'm in.
Starla
Yay!
takes the lead.
Yay!
Okay.
So
Thomas is
Terra,
asking
That
if
was
BJ
a
has
good
scored
one.
this round. You
Terra
should ask if BJ has scored.
so Terra Abacusca is the 7 points. Is that right? Okay.
Looks like it.
Because
And now you're choosing-
heavy. There's a criteria.
Now you're choosing between Hansa Teutonica and Aquatica for second place.
Okay, well, I
Well,
was gonna go with.
It's not Aquatica. It's Kingdom of the Deep. Aquatica.
Hansa Teutonica, ugly, European, hard. There you go, right there.
I mean, also Johnny Pack likes it, so.
Yep, that's true. Johnny
Or
Pack
he
is
said that it's coming out this year.
the big box version,
Yeah, the
which
big
makes
box
it
is
even,
coming.
which makes
yeah.
it, according to BJ's criteria, even heavier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a large box, so that must be heavy.
Guess so. So what do you think, Carla? Second place?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Since
Dang it.
you did a family weight game, PJ.
He didn't say heavy mechanically. He said heavy. All right. So maybe I read
Okay.
these. Maybe I read these too hot. Okay.
Yeah. Let's get some scores here. Starla, Mick,
Ooh.
BJ.
Oh, apparently it went with the BGG rating system. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Did it actually match up?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
she hasn't.
did.
No, she hasn't flipped. Terra Mystica is 396, and you picked
Oh.
Hansa Teutonica, right?
No,
Or I do have it
No,
right.
no, she
No,
picked
no,
Terra
it's,
Mystica first and Hansa
I picked Terra
Teutonica
Mystica. You picked
second.
Oh, okay. I
Pick
got it.
Terra Mystica,
I got it.
Yeah, that's
and I
the
pick
rating.
Hansa.
Yeah, the
Right.
Terra Mystica
I just want to make sure I scored that
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's Starla with 7,
Okay.
Mick with 3, and BJ adding to his 0
It's-
collection.
It's over a 2. It's not a family weight game. Look at that. It's not a family weight game. That's under 2. No.
That's family weight. That's family weight.
2.27.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You-
wow.
We do this game with a football theme, BJ. And the two of them are playing football, and I don't know what shuffleboard court you're on, but
I'm playing European football. It's totally different.
very
Totally
different game. All right. Last category. This could decide it. BJ at this point is playing spoiler.
I'm
but-
bringing
No,
this.
no, I'm so excited to see how BJ does not fit the category.
Yes, yes,
As
yes.
Berla said before, BJ's always doing his own thing, no matter what game we're playing.
That's true. That's
All right.
true.
Let's recap. You had Aw Shoot, that's cute, a big brute,
Mhm.
and your last category for games here is Toot Toot, the one ticket to ride game that you'd keep above all others.
Okay.
Now let's rotate this around here. We're back to the beginning, and so we're back to BJ, then Starla, then Mick.
All right, Ticket to Ride, my first love, my number one game for many, many years. One that I played with the family, but my wife gave me an awesome present 3 or 4 years ago. She found a used copy of the 10th anniversary edition of Ticket to Ride. If you haven't seen it, it comes in a box this big. It's huge. In fact,
Heavy.
it should have been my big brute. Now that I think
That's
about it. But what it has is, I will never get rid of this game because when you open up the box, it's got the 5 colored trains in little metal tins, and each one of the trains is different. And my favorite one is the circus train. It's got a
Yeah,
little,
that's the one we
it's
saw.
got a little circus
Yeah,
car,
I saw that.
and at
Yeah.
the back end, it's got a little giraffe. He looks like an okapi just sticking out the back. And maybe that's why I picked Ticket to Ride 10th anniversary edition.
Keep smooching, BJ.
I'm
Listen up.
trying. I don't know Ticket to Ride Flatulence. Is that a game I haven't played?
He's arguing that the Toot Toot category, you could have
Oh.
gone really Cylon there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was
Missed it.
BJ with the 10th anniversary edition. So
With
now-
the circus train and giraffes.
with the circus train and giraffes and the Mario Kart and all the other things.
With the circus train and the okapis in the back.
It's just shameless. Just shameless.
Pandering.
BJ was
Rilla says a weird giraffe.
That's right. And now on to Starla and Mick, who are really duking it out for the win here.
Okay, so it's really hard because I love so many of the maps, but I'm gonna go with Pennsylvania
Gosh, she loves
because I
that.
love the stocks.
Yeah, she does.
You know, that they add to it that you have to get every time you
Interesting.
complete a route. Well, some routes don't have it, but
Yeah.
most of the routes have it.
Mhm.
And then that's a different element to the game, gives you another way to win. Love Pennsylvania.
Mm.
And now my map that I love, our game, is Europe. I love Europe. It's hard. It's a little bit harder than the original, but it's so refreshing that because you got to work at it, getting through those tunnels and everything. I love that. And it's almost like a little pressure luck with the tunnels, trying to get the right cards for them. So I love Europe. I love the European map. And
Do
then
you
can
use
also
the
use,
stations?
Yeah, use the stations
You
to try
use
to,
them?
you know, use other people's things. Yeah, we use the stations too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like Pennsylvania.
Yeah. She likes
That's-
Pennsylvania.
Some people like to
You're
hold
being
on
a
to those
natural
stations
nice
for the
right
12
now.
points.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've got Carla for the win here. You've got the 10th anniversary edition. You've got Starla with Pennsylvania, and you've got Mick with the Europe Ticket to Ride Europe.
Feel a bite.
Well, I haven't actually played the Pennsylvania one, but I have played Europe.
Okay.
But I mean, I feel bad for BJ. Like, we'll give it to him. He had the
Don't feel
Giraffe.
bad. Don't feel bad.
He
It's your show.
hit the criteria. He did what he was supposed to for once in his life, and
Really? Really?
it won't
one was
matter
tough to get
overall.
around.
It won't matter overall. But,
There's your tagline for this episode. He did what he was supposed to do for once in his life.
Oh, I've got a new ad for the show. I'm going to put that on there.
Okay. BJ takes first place with the 10th anniversary edition. Who's got second place?
the Europe.
Yeah.
I do like Europe,
Okay.
and it also teaches you like about Europe because like every time
Yeah.
I play, I'm like, I don't know where Europe is, like, but like I slowly learn every time because I forget. I don't play it often
This
enough.
is interesting.
What I find strange about the Europe, Matt, is that some of the cities seem to be in English, and some of them are their original names. And I'm not
Yeah.
sure I understand that. It's strange.
Yeah. Yeah, someone in the original language of that country back in the day.
Yeah.
And that just it freaks you out a little bit. Like, where in the world is this country at? You know? And you don't want to ask nobody because they'll know where you're going. So you're just trying to sit there and figure it out, like, where is a at? I don't know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love it.
All right.
All
give
right.
us the scores there, Steve.
I was a bit nervous that we were going to end in a tie, and this was going to have to end up like a co-op game of some sort. And I know what Starla thinks about those. I wore this in honor of you tonight, Starla.
Oh, he sure did. Look at that pandemic.
Classic pandemic co-op game. But we do actually have a winner here. In last place, BJ scored his touchdown and got 7. In second place with a solid silver medal, Mick with 16. Starla pulls it out with 17 points, a 1-point difference for the win.
Congratulations.
And it was the happy pigs
Thank
pushed
you.
across the
Thank
line.
you.
She won. She won. As usual. As usual.
And I'm sure she would want you to know as it should be. Not just as usual, but as it should be.
That's right.
As it should be. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
I want to thank Mick and Starla for coming on. Mick and Starla, where can people find you when they're out there and they want to see your content?
Well, you can catch us on YouTube, Our Family Plays Games, Facebook, Our Family Plays Games, Twitter, Our_plays, Instagram, Our Family Plays Games, and on the Dice Tower.
Yes.
That's right.
Board Game
Congratulations.
Breakfast. And soon we'll have reviews out next week.
Yeah, next week we're doing reviews on the Dice Tower.
Yes.
Quick
Yeah,
heads
so-
up. Congratulations to Mick for putting out that solo. I needed to see that today.
Thank you.
Mick.
Thank you.
Nice
Yeah,
done.
that was been hot.
She pushed me out into it. I didn't want to do it without her.
You didn't want to do
And
it.
she said, "You're gonna do it by yourself." I'm like, "Okay, all right."
Great job.
People have been asking me to do a solo video, and he finally did it. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Well
Well,
done.
congratulations on the Dice Tower. Looking forward to seeing some of those reviews and
Yeah.
maybe even see you guys doing some top 10s with them. I know you did the top
hope
10
so.
family games.
That'd be great.
I mean, y'all been doing your own videos, but it's gonna be fun
Yeah.
to see you guys doing some Dice Tower stuff. So that
I hope so. It was fun when we did it with Z and Tom. It was a blast. It was a blast.
Very
But
cool.
we
It was
will
fun.
catch you guys on another time. I'm gonna send you guys back down, and then we're gonna close out the show. Thank you guys for coming in and thanks for playing it.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
playing the Boudin Bowl and playing it correctly. All right, Carla, what'd you think about that, man? That was not too bad, right?
Yeah, that was good. I always like learning about new games and seeing like how many like games everyone else has played.
Give us the quick plug for the chat crew, all about Roar and Write. Where can they find it, and where can they find everything they need to know if they want to get in touch with you, Carla?
Okay, so to get in touch with me on Twitter, I'm at Weird Giraffes. I'm Weird Giraffe Games or Galactic Raptor Games on Facebook. We also have a Twitch Right now, we're Draft Games, so you can hear my game design live chats and other live playthroughs and stuff
right.
like that if you're a Twitch person. Roar and Write, it plays 1 to 100 plus, like however many people you have score sheets for. You can play over Zoom, which is why we're doing it now because COVID. It's a thing. But we want you to play games safe, and it's only $19. And it's a pretty thinky roll and write. I mean, BJ likes it. He wrote a quote and stuff. So yeah, you can check out the page. I think the link is in the chat, but
I'll post it one time here at the end so that people are getting it the last time when they're seeing it from you.
How much longer is the Kickstarter going to be around?
It's going to be up until the 23rd of July. So.
And you and Dan are very active in the comments. So if anybody has any questions, they can hit you on Twitter or they can hit you right in the comments of the Kickstarter, right?
Yes.
Roar and Write. My tagline was, "What a cool freaking name!" But yes, an absolute a nice thinky flip and write or not flip and write, roll and write or randowriter. Check that out, and there it is. Steve's got it for people out there. The Kickstarter project from Galactic Raptor Games, Roar and Write, an Animal Kingdoms game with really cool art. So check that out. That is awesome. And our game, of course, tonight, Starla was the big winner with 17 points. Thank you for playing that. It's presented by Game Toppers LLC. Make your game nights, Carla, a showstopper when you play on a Game Topper. Our big thanks to Berkey for supporting the Southern Board Game Fest on that. So, all right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/boardgamegumbo, because it helps us to get the word out about all our upcoming guests and shows. You can also check out some of the repurposed shows on YouTube when we do our reviews, our previews, some of the content from these shows, and our unboxings. And Carla, I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo, and until next time, Steve and Carla, laissez le bon temps rouler.